in particular is teaching us how to be a different kind of human being in the world and to be in contact with bodhicitta, our essential nature. And that, of course, is the thing that brings us into the world and into life differently. The first level of training that comes before this is really teaching us that there's a way out of continual difficulty, suffering, pain, and entanglements. It doesn't mean we won't experience loss or grief, because we have learned that everything is impermanent, and that means there will be losses and grief. There will be challenges. But the first level of teachings tell us that there is a way for there to be less suffering in our lives, and we have to understand what the root cause of that is so that we can change it. And the first trainings also teach us that we need to be able to experience a mind that can rest, that can be contemplative and rest and receptive. So it's the practice of harnessing, lassoing the mind that's always going, caught up in something, completely identified with its thoughts. And we learn how, in the early stages, how to have a meditative mind where it can enter a kind of samadhi, a kind of calmness, peacefulness. And we have to learn how to develop the capacity to contemplate, to listen to and hear, and then put into some kind of work with ourselves and our lives, and allow some kind of change for them to help us in some way. And so we have to learn how to be a listener, a student that has our cup empty and open on our table. And that's something we do have to learn, isn't it? In this first level of teaching, the Dharma tells us, you cannot arrive listening with your cup turned upside down, because that means you're here, but you're not going to let anything in. And at that stage, we may kind of like the atmosphere, or we like sometimes the feeling, but some part of us still has the cup turned like that. So the teachings tell us, don't be a student with your cup turned down. And then they tell us, don't be a student where your cup is already filled to the top, where we already are so full, we have so much, we know so much, that there isn't any room in our cup to receive anything. So really feeling what that feels like. It's like we have to come with our ego in the back seat. We might even need to put it in the trunk for a while and just tell it, it's okay, you can reemerge when this is over. But for now, you have to stay in the trunk so that my cup can be empty, so that I might learn something that I do not already know. And then we're taught that that is the only way that we can evolve, if we remain open to learn. And so the second example is for us to please be a student that does not come with our cup already overflowing with tea. third example is that if we come with our cup empty, but it has a big hole in the bottom, or even a small hole, so it gets filled up, but then everything just drains out. Maybe by the time we drive home, the cup has lost all of its nectar all over the car, on the sidewalk. By the time we walk in the house, it's totally gone. And we're back right to where we were, lost in the drama. And so we're taught that our cup should remain upright and empty. But if there's a hole in it, it means we're not retaining anything. It's like kind of drink coming in and just going out. And that the mind is probably not really present, or it hasn't understood the value yet of being an open vessel so that we might grow. And whether where we are, no matter what situation we're in, even we're with someone or we're hearing things that we would never accept as teachings for us, whatever we're hearing can still teach us something about how to refine our own hearts and minds. For us to have a spiritual transformation that is lasting, our cup shouldn't have a hole in the bottom.